Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Ghost Trick. On the last episode we saved our pigeon friend, and now it's time to save our stern buddy, Inspector Cabanela. What's the matter? You look like you'd rather be dead, not that you aren't. I was just remembering the fact that right about now, the real me has given the poor Justice Minister a real fright. Oh, that phone call? Yeah, he was pretty upset. Excuse me, mister. Hmm? You really shouldn't be mean like that. And what's this lively little creature? Oh, this little doggy is the warrior who keeps Kamala safe, or he would be if he was actually still full of life. Well, he did save her life once already while he was dead. Kamala. Gods in heaven, what a terrible thing. That poor little girl taken hostage. It's a cruel twist of fate indeed. Wait just a minute, Miss Kamala's a hostage? Yes, we're sorry, little warrior. Miss Kamala, a hostage? What's a hostage? Alright, situation deflated. Anyway, Inspector Cabanela, it's time to save your life now. But you couldn't get very far when you tried before, am I right? But this time it's different, right, Sissel? That's right, with us working together, it's a whole different situation. We'll save the Inspector in white, and then we'll go rescue Kamala, okay? Okay, let's hurry up and get through this. Gee, kids, you're making me feel like an afterthought. Alright, let's get started. Inspector Cabanela is upstairs, so our first step is to get up there. Sissel, I'll go up first and wait for you. Okay, Lovey-Dove, we need your help. Lovey-Dove, it's a great name for a pigeon, I guess. Carry this measuring device upstairs. It has Mr. Ghost in it, so don't drop it. It's not really like we have a body to feel pain or anything. Yeah. Huh. Anyway, up we go. Oddly enough, the pigeon sort of flutters up and down. We have to sort of wait for him to flutter back up before we can actually get out of the measuring device. And there we go. Back up to the room. Now this is another one of those situations where there's two different ways to go about doing things. There you are, Sissel. Sorry for the wait, Missile. 4 minutes from now, the inspector will be killed by a gun. You just jump in there and stop him from firing, would you? Sigh, there you go again with that stuff. Besides, it doesn't make any sense. If you stop him from firing, he'll just kill you some other way. Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Yep, same situation as mine. Your best bet this time around is to allow him to shoot, then save Cabanela without him noticing. Phew, it's even worse than last time. Anywho, jump in there and do something. Okay, I'm ready to jump in, Sissel. Don't forget, whenever you want to use my powers, just touch the missile icon. Will do, Chief. So, there's actually, I'm very briefly going to ghost time and put a save state here. Because as it turns out, like I said, there's two ways to go about this puzzle, and I want to show the first one first. It's sort of another alternate ending like in the Chicken Kitchen. In order for it to happen, we actually have to wait all the way to the end without doing anything. So let's wait for time to pass. Might edit part of this, just to make it go a little faster. Oh, did you see that? That bad Sissel turned around. Did you have to call him that? But yeah, maybe this is our chance to try some ghost tricks. This is the only time he takes his eyes off of me, too. If you have something to do, do it now. Time to take the first steps towards saving the inspector. Saving him normally, we would actually do some ghost tricks on the left side of the room because it's the only point where he's not watching us. Remember, if we do something while he's staring at us, he stops and kills the inspector automatically. It's the kind of guy you are. Alright, we're getting there. Pretty soon, Cabanela shoots him. Again, this should all look rather familiar. Blah, blah, blah. And, takes the bullet again, rolls back. Notice that he only is able to do ghost tricks that we can do ourselves. He can roll the little step ladder like we could, and he can use the lamp like we could. So where's, oh yeah, Missile's still on the rolling ladder. That's where he starts this part of the puzzle. Any minute now. One. You'll notice the timer accelerates somewhat during this version because honestly there's nothing we haven't already seen before. There's actually a very small number of actions we need to take to solve this puzzle correctly when I go through it the second time. So this is actually pretty cool. He's about to shoot. And we're gonna get a hint pretty soon, once evil Sissel's done talking. He's gonna shoot. It's too late. Again? I'm gonna get shot again? No, wait, our chance is coming up. The last split second, right? Leave it to me. He shoots, and boom. Missile's got ridiculous reflexes. Would you look at that? The bullet is hanging in midair between the gun and the inspector's forehead. Now's our chance. I'm hearing the bullet right now. Let's swap this little thing with something else. What? It's our only hope. There's gotta be something here with the same shape and direction as the bullet. I never saw a bullet before. It's such a cute little shape, doesn't it? I can check out the bullet shape on the top screen. Okay, that's good to know. The important thing is not only do you have to change something with the same shape, but also facing the same direction. Since the bullet is facing left towards Cabanela, excuse me, swap that hang. Okay, thanks for the reminder. It'd also be heading the same direction, so the only thing that follows is this hard hat hanging on the shelf. And this works about as well as you can imagine. Bam! Hat to the face. This is actually probably worse than getting him shot by the regular bullet. And that is not the solution whatsoever. So let's go back and do it correctly. Just want to show you that because it's actually probably one of the funniest alternate sequences in the entire game. So here we are, let's do this correctly. Let's advance things quickly. Blah blah blah, broken bones. It's very difficult to find spots to edit this correctly, but I guess we'll have to use my time as wisely as I could. So again, we need him to knock down the teapot so that we can use this, so we can move back into the main part of the room. And when he turns around, we can ghost trick the lamp. Any minute now, there he goes. So he turns around, we can move into this hard hat and knock it off the hook. Only while he's facing this direction. It gets his attention, but it doesn't actually... Here we go, what's that? It doesn't actually force him to stop time and go to the ghost world like he did before. Now, Missile is still in the rolling thing. We can get him out for now. We actually need to get him into that book. Let's leave him there for now. That's probably good enough. So he gets shot again. Third time now. This guy's just full of bullets. The game doesn't even bother giving you dramatic tension by stopping the music when he rolls back up here. Back up he goes. Look at his hair move. It's apparently not completely hairsprayed. So now we can move Missile into the book, which is where he needs to be, change the Sissel, and now we can do things on the right side of the room. We can move the stepladder back to the other side. We can move into this other hat on the other side of the room, knock it off the shelf. And now that we're here, move back into the stepladder, move the stepladder back to the left side of the room. As Missile, we can exchange the hat with the book because currently they're now flat rectangles, the hat lying flat on the stepladder, and this actually causes the hat to fall into the hook where the hard hat was. And this is pretty obviously exactly how we solved this puzzle. Obviously you saw what we had to do with the hard hat the first time around, we solved it incorrectly. Now the knit cap is in the same situation. So once again, he will fire. And Missile will once again stop the bullet. Much easier for him this time because it's the second time we've been doing this. So this time he actually knows what's happening. Some familiar dialogue. Note that we actually can't swap it with the helmet on the floor this time because the helmet on the floor is facing up, meaning it doesn't actually have the same shape. It does have the same shape and the same direction for some reason. So we can swap with the knit cap and whacks him in the face just the same, but this time does not bash his skull in. And for some reason, evil Sissel doesn't notice that Cabanela was not, in fact, shot and killed. It's, I guess, I don't think he noticed. Looks like he pulled off another magic disappearing act. Except Cabanela's still right there. I guess it's an advantage of the fact that nobody ever suffers any blood loss from bullet wounds in this game. Now I say again, I love knit hats. So warm and most of all, soft. Did I do all right? You did a fine job, little one. You saved another life. And I'll keep doing it too, over and over. Well, there's not that much more in the game, so... What I just saw in just these 4 minutes gave me all the answers I've been looking for. All our research these past 10 years pales in comparison, right, Professor? So you two are working together? That's about the size of it, yeah? Who would believe a story about a manipulator? So we pursued it ourselves, just the two of us. I'm quite a crazy character myself, after all. Okay, let's hurry back to our time. We have to rescue Miss Kamala. You're right, Missile. And there's a certain guy I have to follow, too. And back we go. Up to the present, where both Cabanela and the pigeon guy are still alive, and hopefully we'll get some yet more answers. Although Cabanela's still pretty messed up since we weren't able to stop the room from exploding. After completing his revenge on Inspector Cabanela, the man in red left, and now a new story is about to unfold in a new present. There he is. They're both okay. How you feeling, you old crazy character? They really love that phrase. Along with a horrible hitman and odd girl. Hey there, Prof, we're both alive, I see. Yeah, nothing like it, baby, but I don't know if I'm getting old or what. I got a few aches and pains here and there. Used to be a little thing like an explosion wouldn't bother me. Yeah, right, like I'm gonna believe that. So what, the guy in red is gone, eh? Just in case, I posted special investigation units all around the building. Let's just pray the boys came through for us. Needs a little help getting up. Or not, just stay there. Damn it, you picked a bad time not to listen to me, body of mine. Well, now we can talk to these two. I'm gonna get at least one round of dialogue in before I stop this episode. That double death sequence took up a lot of time. Mr. Superintendent, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute? I haven't always been a junkyard superintendent, you know. I used to be part of the police. The police, huh? Not as a detective, but as a medical examiner. I investigated victims' causes of death. 10 years ago, I was asked to autopsy a strange corpse, hit by a meteorite fragment and died instantly. That's what the police report said. Should be awfully familiar. It's exactly the same as the scenario we just saw him investigating the same body in earlier today. There were no signs of life, he was definitely dead, but I never filed an autopsy report. That's because the corpse suddenly vanished, leaving behind only one clue. He got up and walked away, did he? An unusual corpse. I bet that's what I've been chasing all night. Could you tell me more? Yeah, sure. I have an interest in you recovering your memory and finding your true identity too. So we've got some dialogue options as usual. That's the only way I can describe it too. It was an unusual corpse. He was dead all right, no question about that. But there wasn't a scratch on him. Not a scratch, but I thought he was hit by a meteorite fragment. I don't understand it any more than you do. Flashback to the same corpse. I was completely bewildered, but when I tried to autopsy him, I was even more puzzled. I couldn't perform the autopsy. You couldn't? What do you mean? The scalpel went in, but I couldn't cut. As soon as I tried to make an incision, it would heal up the very next instant. And that's how it went. No scoring or blood, either. It's pretty odd, considering nobody ever bleeds in this game anyway. I never had the chance to solve the mystery. That's because the corpse up and vanished on us. The morgue is well guarded. Nobody could have stolen that body, but there is one way the corpse could have disappeared. What's that? Gee, I wonder. I've seen them do this a couple times already today. Or I should say in the last 2 episodes. Just took a nice nap. Let me wander off for a while. Yep, even turned off the light when he left. He got up, opened the door, and walked out on its own. What? He was dead, but he wasn't dead. We saw it with our own eyes tonight. Not even that explosion could kill him. And he didn't even feel it when he slammed his fist on that stove. Let's find out about the clue. The corpse left behind some data from some testing I did. I got some readings for some kind of radiation coming off that body. I used all kinds of instruments, but I couldn't determine exactly what kind of radiation it was. Some undiscovered type from a world unknown. Wait a minute, could it be? That's right, it was coming from that meteorite fragment. And I believe we verified this when the superintendent was measuring his corpse at the beginning of Chapter 15. Remember, when we were at Temsic Park, we saw the same glowy stuff we saw coming off of Sissel's corpse from the ground. I went to that park and tested the spot where the meteorite fell, and just as I expected, I detected radiation coming from that crater. It was the exact same pattern of radiation as the corpse. Problem solved, sort of. At the time, I thought he was some kind of immortal being. He would die only to come back to life. I wanted to research it all in depth, so I quit my job as a police medical examiner. Picked up a job as a garbage man. Several years later, I came to learn the connection between my research and the manipulator case, thanks to the arrival of this crazy character here. Oh, stop now, Professor. You want to see me blush? So now we got a new clue about Cabanela. It was about a year ago, I'd say. This man in white came dancing into my research lab here. That's pretty much all he does, right? We get to see him pose? Yep, there we go. Black and white, classy. I heard there was an oddball here who was researching Temsic. Is that you, baby? Shuffle on over. Who are you to be calling anybody an oddball? And so their relationship began. I was investigating the manipulator case then, and then I heard there was a man who quit the police force to study the meteorite. When I heard that, it was like a meteorite struck me on the head. Hey, it's the green and blue guys from before. At the time, we were just starting to get leads in this manipulator. We didn't know who he was yet, but we knew he was communicating with a certain foreign country. In one of those communications, we heard the manipulator say this: "The source of my power is not of this world." Pretty much gave it all away right there. And that's when I put 2 and 2 together, baby. The manipulator case and Temsic were somehow connected. Which also explains how 5 years ago he used his powers to manipulate a birthday surprise a little girl made for her mother. He added that gun to the contraption, most likely by controlling Kamala. So I guess the difference is, he's actually dead as opposed to us. He's not really dead as opposed to us who are actually dead. Probably explains why he doesn't have to go by the disappear by morning rule that we do. Anyway, we got a lot of answers already, and we still got to grill Cabanela. But thankfully, we saved them both, and added yet more cast of characters so the people we can communicate with telepathically. So we'll say hi to Cabanela and see what he has to say about the matter tomorrow on the next episode of Let's Play Ghost Trick. See you then.